7 things man should not do with women. It kills attraction instantly. Modern Stoic. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Chum. Eden Arbez. Let's cut through the noise and face some hard truths. Far too many men unknowingly sabotage their chances with women. It's not because they lack charm or potential. It's because they've been misled into thinking that doing more for a woman, chasing harder, giving endlessly, being always available, will somehow earn her affection. But here's the reality. It doesn't work that way. In fact, the more you try to prove your worth by doing everything for her, the more you push her away. Attraction isn't built on how nice you are or how much you give. It's about how a woman feels when she's around you. Certain behaviors, no matter how well-intentioned, destroy that spark. They drain the mystery, kill the challenge, and strip away the energy that makes a relationship exciting. Instead of feeling drawn to you, she starts to feel exhausted, and maybe even trapped. Once that attraction dies, it's game over. Sure, she might still talk to you, but the allure is gone. The chase is over, and that initial pull that drew her to you in the first place, it fades. Here's what most men don't grasp. Women are emotional creatures. They're not swayed by constant validation, endless explanations, or desperate efforts. Instead, they're attracted to confidence, leadership, boundaries, and the right kind of energy. In today's world, where options are limitless and distractions are constant, if you make these mistakes, she won't confront you. She'll just go cold, stop texting, or slip away quietly. So, what are these deadly mistakes that men commonly make? Let's break them down. Straightforward, no-nonsense advice that will help you stop killing the attraction and regain your power. This isn't about playing mind games. It's about standing firm in your own value and letting her see it. If you're tired of losing women and don't know why, it's time to make a change. Buckle up. This is the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. 1. Don't over-pursue. You must understand this. Nothing kills a woman's attraction faster than a man who's always chasing her, relentlessly. Sure, you think you're showing interest, right? You believe that being consistent, even persistent, signals strength and determination. But to her, it feels like desperation. And when she senses desperation, the power dynamic flips. The chase isn't attractive anymore, it's needy. Attraction doesn't thrive in desperation, it suffocates. When you over-pursue, you're unconsciously telling her, "You're more valuable than me. I need to prove myself to you." And let's be clear, that's not a message that wins her heart. That energy repels. She's not interested in being smothered or feeling overwhelmed by your constant presence. You may think you're doing everything right, but you're actually suffocating the very thing you're trying to build attraction. Women want to feel that they've earned your attention, that it's a privilege to be with you, not that it's handed out like a freebie at a convention. When a man over-pursues, there's no mystery, no intrigue, and let's face it, without mystery, without tension, attraction fades. A man who understands his value knows how to initiate interest, but he also knows when to give space. This is where the modern Stoic mindset comes in, understanding the balance between pursuit and independence. A man doesn't flood her with text messages, double text her when she doesn't respond, or keep trying to plan dates after she's cancelled on him several times. He reads the room. If her energy isn't matching his, he steps back. Not because he's weak, but because he respects himself. Here's the thing. Most men over-pursue because they fear losing her. They're so caught up in the idea of her slipping away that they forget what makes them attractive in the first place, their strength, their self-sufficiency, and their sense of worth. It's ironic, but the harder you chase, the less likely she is to want you. Women don't want to feel hunted. They want to feel like they're stepping into the life of a man who's on his own path, living his life to the fullest, and she's fortunate enough to join it, not become the center of it. That's a key lesson taught by the old Stoics, to cultivate your own purpose and passions so that you never rely on someone else to validate your existence. If you've got to chase too hard, my friend, the reality is she's just not that into you. And if she's not into you, No amount of chasing is going to change that. Remember, your effort should match her investment. If she pulls back, let her. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. You're not desperate to keep her. You've got a life to live. If she wants to be a part of it, she'll let you know. If not, you move on, like a man who knows his worth. In the early stages of dating, your job is not to chase or to push yourself onto her, but simply to present yourself. Make your presence felt, but then step back and let her lean in. You're not her servant, you're a man of value. If she's interested, she'll make it known. If not, that's fine too. You have other things to focus on. The modern Stoic understands the power of walking away. The man who knows when to stop chasing is the one who always keeps her wondering. He doesn't chase her endlessly, but rather he remains focused on his own life, his own mission, his own passions. When she sees that, that's when she starts wondering, why isn't he chasing me? What's different about him? That curiosity sparks attraction. You see, when you chase too much, she might run. But when you show her you can walk away, that's when she might just come running back. This, my friend, is the essence of Stoicism: knowing your worth, understanding that you are the prize and not clinging to outcomes. You must stop the chase. And by doing so, you'll position yourself in a way that women will be more intrigued by your absence than your presence. 2. Don't try to impress her too much. Don't make her your therapist. Men, listen closely. There's a critical line you must never cross. A woman can be many things in your life: a lover, a teammate, a confidant, but she should never be your emotional crutch. One of the most catastrophic mistakes men make is assuming that laying bare every insecurity, every doubt, and every emotional wound will somehow draw a woman closer to them. This is a false notion that destroys attraction. You believe that by being vulnerable, you will bond deeply, but instead, you create an emotional burden that repels her. Instead of feeling close to you, she starts to see you as emotionally weak, and over time, that attraction fades. This is not just about emotional honesty. It's about knowing when, how, and to whom you express vulnerability. There's a time and place for openness, but when you continually bring your anxieties, frustrations, and failures into a relationship, you put an immense weight on her shoulders. She didn't sign up to fix your problems. She signed up to experience connection with a man who is strong and self-sufficient. That's what's attractive. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Don't let your emotional volatility make you unlike the man you aspire to be, a man who controls his life and emotions. Women respect strength, but strength is not about never facing challenges. It's about how you confront them. When you demonstrate that you're navigating life's hurdles with purpose, that you have structure, a clear mission, and a support system of male friends or mentors, you command respect. She sees that you are capable of handling life and all it throws at you. But when you place that emotional responsibility on her, asking her to fix you, her perception of you begins to shift. She starts doubting your ability to lead, protect, or provide, the qualities that trigger deep feminine attraction. And let's be clear, this isn't about silencing your emotions. You should absolutely express feelings and talk about life's challenges, but there's a critical distinction in how you approach these conversations. Let her see that you're in control of your struggles. Frame it as, I've been through this, I'm learning from it, I'm improving, not, I'm falling apart and need you to hold me together. That's weak, that's needy, and it's a surefire way to kill any attraction she might have had for you. This is where the Stoic principles come into play. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius also said, when you frame your struggles as opportunities for growth, you not only maintain your personal strength, but you also retain her respect. Your journey should be one of continual self-improvement, not a series of emotional breakdowns that require her to pick up the pieces. Remember, women are naturally drawn to men who stand strong, who handle their emotions with poise, and who navigate the world with confidence. She wants a man who inspires her, not one who makes her feel responsible for his emotional well-being. This is not just theory. This is how life works in the modern world. Women today value men who possess stoic resilience. They want to see men who lead their own lives, who tackle their issues head-on, and who inspire through action, not weakness. Your emotional stability is an asset, not a liability. And as a man who understands Stoic principles, you must embrace the idea that you are the master of your own mind and emotions. In modern life, emotional control is power. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Take control of your emotions and watch how much more attractive you become. Don't lean on her for emotional support. Instead, offer her the strength she can rely on. You must be the foundation, the leader, the protector. When you take charge of your emotional landscape, you free her to be the woman you admire, not the caretaker of your insecurities. Never forget, women are drawn to strength, not because of an absence of flaws, but because of how those flaws are handled. The message is clear. Take responsibility for your own emotional health. Be the man who can handle the ups and downs of life, who uses every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Only then will you keep her attraction alive." If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Also, make sure you subscribe for more insightful content. To interact and remind yourself of your own strength, comment this affirmation below: "I am emotionally strong, self-sufficient, and always growing." Keep leveling up and take charge of your emotional journey. 3. Don't be afraid to be direct. Don't be afraid to be direct. The moment you begin to shy away from the truth or avoid tough conversations, you're immediately signaling weakness. You don't need to dance around the truth, trying to please her at the expense of your own integrity. That's not the behavior of a man who has his life in order, nor of someone she can respect. Women, like anyone else, seek clarity. If you're constantly ambiguous, dodging the difficult conversations, or keeping your true thoughts hidden to avoid discomfort, you're not showcasing the strength and decisiveness that make you attractive. Instead, you're only showing her that you lack the courage to be a leader in the relationship. This is a fatal flaw, one that leaves her wondering what you really want, what you stand for, and whether you're truly capable of guiding her or your relationship toward anything meaningful. The modern Stoic approach cuts through all of this nonsense. Be clear, be assertive, and above all, be honest about your intentions. You're not a politician trying to win popularity points by saying what others want to hear. You're a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to pursue it. It is a mark of strength and confidence to speak plainly and lead with a sense of purpose. When you're upfront about your desires and goals, you not only save yourself time and energy, but you also create a level of trust and security that can only exist when both people are on the same page. The old Stoic mindset, taught by the likes of Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, isn't about being harsh or rude. It's about cutting through the fluff and confronting reality. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Marcus Aurelius once said, reminding us that time is precious. By being direct, you demonstrate to her that you're not here to waste either hers or your own. You're a man who understands the value of time and, importantly, of truth. Indirectness, on the other hand, creates unnecessary tension and confusion. It makes her second-guess your intentions and wonder whether you're playing games or just incapable of facing your feelings. This is the exact opposite of what attracts a woman. Women are drawn to strength. Strength in communication, strength in decision-making, and strength in actions. When you're unclear, you inadvertently show her that you can't be relied upon to handle situations when things get tough. It doesn't matter how good-looking you are or how charming you can be on the surface. If you can't tell her what you want, when you want it, and why, she won't feel secure. And without security, attraction fades faster than you can imagine. In the realm of Stoicism, there's a great emphasis on dealing with life head-on, without avoiding discomfort or hiding behind distractions. The modern Stoic man knows that avoiding conflict or uncomfortable conversations does not make him more attractive. It just prolongs unnecessary drama. Instead, he embraces confrontation, not because he enjoys it, but because he knows it brings clarity. A man who hides behind indirectness is often trying to avoid the inevitable discomfort of truth. But the truth is, facing these moments with courage and directness not only prevents misunderstandings, but also earns respect, something that will keep her attraction alive. You must understand that life is too short to dance around your feelings or hide your true self. The Stoic way is to be consistent, to communicate openly, and to maintain your integrity at all costs. You cannot expect to lead a woman into a meaningful relationship if you cannot first lead yourself through honest communication. Be that man, the one who faces challenges head-on, the one who doesn't waste time with pretense, the one who speaks his mind and stands by his words. This isn't about being ruthless or inconsiderate. It's about being true to yourself and showing her that you respect both her time and yours. So, be bold. Don't hide behind vague answers or fear rejection. Be clear in your intentions and communicate with purpose. If you're struggling to be direct, then look to the Stoic teachings. The old Stoics didn't shy away from discomfort or hard truths. They faced them with dignity and fortitude. You can do the same. The modern Stoic man does not apologize for being clear and honest. He knows that any relationship built on confusion and uncertainty is doomed. It's not about making her like you by bending to her desires. It's about making her respect you because you have the courage to stand in your own truth. This, more than anything, will ignite and sustain attraction. So, take the plunge. Speak your truth. Be direct. Be clear. And watch as your relationships transform into something far more powerful and enduring. The choice is yours. Follow the path of the modern Stoic, or let fear continue to dictate your fate. 4. Don't put her on a pedestal. Men, it's time to stop putting women on pedestals. This subtle mistake can swiftly destroy your value and instantly kill attraction. It may not always be obvious. It's not always about praising her excessively or bowing at her feet. No, the most damaging actions come from seemingly small gestures, constantly agreeing with her, even when you don't, acting nervous or overly accommodating around her, or praising her like she's a goddess, as if you're lucky she even noticed you. These things are poison. The moment you treat a woman like she's somehow above you, you make yourself inferior to her. In her eyes, you're no longer the intriguing man she was drawn to. You've become just another admirer, trying to earn a place in her world. This shift in dynamic weakens her attraction for you. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, famously said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." By placing her above you, you are not being the strong, centered man you should be. Women don't want a man who worships them. They want someone who sees their value but also stands firmly in his own. They are drawn to men who challenge them, who are strong enough to admire their beauty without being blinded by it. Let's be clear. If she's successful, confident, and attractive, that's fantastic, but that does not make her more valuable than you. It means she has certain qualities, just as you have your own. The moment you start acting as though she's more important than you because of her looks or her status, you teach her how to treat you. She'll take you for granted because she knows you'll always agree, always be available, and always cater to her. And that predictability, it makes you boring. Real men stand strong in their own worth, regardless of the woman in front of them. What women crave is a man with a strong sense of self, someone who can look her in the eye and say, "You're amazing, but so am I." It's not about arrogance or indifference. It's about understanding that you're a prize too. A man who is emotionally independent and centered in his own identity will not place his entire happiness into the hands of a woman. This pedestal mindset usually arises from scarcity. Men who believe they have limited options tend to idolize the first woman who shows them attention. This neediness is palpable. It's a heavy burden for her. It's not love, it's emotional dependence. And let's be clear, no woman wants to carry that weight. You don't have to be cold or distant to avoid the pedestal trap. Just stay grounded in the knowledge that you are valuable. Your time, your energy, your attention, these things matter. Not everyone deserves access to them. This means she doesn't automatically deserve them either. She must earn your time and your respect, just as you must earn hers. You must hold firm to the belief that you are as worthy of her respect and admiration as she is of yours. You should never hand over your worth simply because she has a pretty face or a smooth voice. Stay centered, stay grounded, never lose yourself in her. A woman wants to look up to you, not feel as though she has to carry the weight of your emotional world. As Marcus Aurelius taught, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. Your thoughts must reflect self-respect and confidence. Let her see that you don't need her to complete you. You are already whole. Confidence is quiet. It's not about loud, boastful behaviour. Real men don't worship. They connect, challenge, and lead. When you hold your ground and stand firm in your self-worth, you will naturally attract the kind of woman who values you, not because you worship her, but because you have the strength and confidence to be your own man. That's what true attraction is built on. So, men, stop giving away your power. Don't fall into the trap of putting her on a pedestal. Stand strong in your own value, as the Stoic principles would have you do. When you embody confidence and respect, both for yourself and her, you will command respect in return. Let her earn your time, your affection, and your energy. And in doing so, you will master life, not just relationships. Comment this affirmation below. I am emotionally independent, confident, and grounded in my own worth. Let's keep leveling up and mastering life. 5. Don't be too available. One of the quickest ways to destroy attraction is by making yourself too available. It may seem counterintuitive, but it's an absolute truth. Being overly available kills desire. Modern society might tell you that if you really like a woman, you should always pick up her calls, respond to her texts immediately, and drop everything just to hang out. But what society doesn't tell you is that such behaviour creates complacency, stifling curiosity and excitement. You are not a servant, nor should you be an option on standby. As Marcus Aurelius taught, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. Too much accessibility shows a lack of purpose and ambition, making you predictable. Predictability, my friend, destroys mystery, and mystery is the very core of attraction. When you're always at her beck and call, she begins to see you as a filler in her life. At first, it might be flattering to her ego. She might enjoy the attention. But over time, she will sense that you're not busy, you're not driven, and you have no mission. A woman is attracted to a man who is on a mission, who is constantly evolving, who is leading his own life. When she realizes you're not that man, her respect for you begins to dwindle. Suddenly, you're no longer the challenge she has to win over. You're just the man who is always available, predictable, convenient, and, ultimately, unattractive. Let's break it down. If you're always responding to her texts in seconds, always jumping at her every invitation, always saying yes just to be near her, what kind of message does that send? That your time is cheap, that you have nothing going on, that you are waiting around for her. And once a woman believes your time has no value, she'll stop valuing you. She'll stop thinking you're the man who is worth pursuing. Instead, you become the man who's just around, available whenever. And, let's be clear, nobody respects that. A high-value man is a man with purpose, a man who has goals, hobbies, routines, friends, and a clear sense of direction. He doesn't sit around, waiting for someone to call him. He has a life that doesn't revolve around anyone. When he does respond to her, it's on his terms. He's busy, he's focused, and if she gets a response, it's because she has earned his attention, not because he's hanging on to her every word. This is not about playing games. This is about showing that you are a man of worth, whose time is precious. And trust me, this is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. As the Stoic principles teach, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. A man who is always available is a man who has nothing else to pursue. His life is empty, and that is a tragedy. But a man who is busy, focused on his purpose, and only available when it aligns with his priorities is a man who commands respect. He doesn't need to chase attention. Attention comes to him naturally because women want to be a part of his world, not the other way around. By embracing this Stoic mindset, being intentional with your time, focusing on your mission, and not being desperate for validation, you elevate your value. When she doesn't hear from you right away, she starts to wonder. She starts to think about you more, about what you're doing, why you're not always available. This uncertainty ignites her curiosity and builds emotional attraction. It's not about manipulation. It's about being the kind of man who makes his own path, who lives by his principles, and who isn't swayed by every call or text. In a world of constant distraction, your calm, self-assured presence becomes a rare and magnetic force. You must value yourself enough to not be at her beck and call. A woman respects a man who has a life that's full, who is actively pursuing his goals, and who isn't afraid to make her work for his time. Don't be the man who's waiting around for her to reach out. Be the man who is moving forward with purpose, and let her come to you. You'll see the attraction grow stronger, not because you're playing hard to get, but because you're living the life you were meant to lead. In today's world, where instant gratification reigns, the man who is not easily accessible is the one who stands out. Women are not attracted to neediness. They are attracted to strength, to stoicism, to a man who has his own purpose and who commands respect. Be that man. Stay busy. Stay focused. Don't let your value be defined by how quickly you reply to texts or whether or not you're always available. When you live with intention and confidence, your attraction grows. And remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your thoughts must be filled with purpose, with ambition, and with the understanding that your time, your attention, and your life are precious. Master your life. Lead with purpose. Don't be too available. This is how you maintain your power and attract the right woman. 6. Don't make her your therapist. Don't make her your therapist. A woman can be many things: a partner, a lover, a teammate, but one thing she should never be is your emotional crutch. This is a mistake that many men make, often without even realizing it. Somewhere along the way, you start thinking that sharing every insecurity, every doubt, and every emotional wound is a sign of vulnerability that will bring you closer. In truth, though, it has the opposite effect. Instead of drawing her nearer, it drives a wedge between you. When you unload your emotional baggage on her constantly, especially early in the relationship, she doesn't see it as bonding. She starts seeing you as emotionally weak. And once that happens, her attraction begins to fade. Now, don't get me wrong, emotional honesty is essential, but it's about timing, context, and presentation. Constantly bringing your emotional struggles to the woman in your life, your anxiety, your frustration, your failures, your personal pain, particularly in the beginning stages, places an emotional weight on her that she didn't sign up for. It forces her into the role of caretaker rather than lover. And the moment she feels like your emotional support system, her romantic feelings shift. She no longer looks at you as a man she desires, but as someone she feels responsible for fixing. This is a critical issue, one that many men overlook, often in the name of being real or vulnerable. Understanding how women perceive strength is crucial. It's not about being problem-free. No one is. But it's about how you deal with those challenges. Women are drawn to a man who faces difficulties with resilience and determination, not one who crumbles in front of them. When she sees you navigating life's ups and downs with a sense of purpose, structure, and confidence, especially if you're backed by strong male friendships, mentors, or support systems, she will admire you more, she'll respect you more. But when she feels like she needs to hold you together, doubts creep in. She starts wondering if you can truly lead, protect, and provide the stability she craves, all qualities tied to her deepest sense of attraction. This doesn't mean you can never open up or share your feelings, but it's essential to do so from a place of control, not collapse. If you're struggling, you need to communicate that in a way that shows you're managing it, growing from it, and ultimately improving. The message should be, I've been through this, and I'm learning from it. not I'm falling apart and I need you to fix me. A woman wants to see you as a man who handles his business, who is self-sufficient, and who has the internal fortitude to stand tall even when the world knocks him down. She wants to be your partner, not your emotional caretaker. In this world of modern Stoicism, where strength of character and emotional resilience are prized, don't let yourself slip into the trap of emotional dependence. Go to your brothers, a therapist, or a coach when you need help. Build your emotional infrastructure outside of the relationship. That's what allows you to bring your best self to the table. Use her presence for support, not as a crutch. The moment you turn her into your therapist, the dynamic shifts. She stops seeing you as a man she desires and starts seeing you as someone she needs to take care of. And when that happens, the attraction dies. This is the crux of the issue. A woman can handle your truth, but she can't carry your entire emotional weight on her back. Don't confuse emotional unloading with genuine depth. Be open, but remain strong. That balance, the one that mixes honesty with control, is what keeps respect and desire alive in the relationship. In this sense, being a modern Stoic means you handle your emotions like a true man, not letting them dictate your actions or relationship dynamics. And remember, the old Stoic principles of self-mastery and emotional discipline are timeless. They have always been about facing life with resilience and self-control, no matter the storm you're weathering. That's what women respect, and that's what keeps attraction at its peak. So, take a moment to assess how you're showing up emotionally. Are you leaning on her too much? Are you turning her into your therapist? If so, it's time to recalibrate. Build your emotional strength outside of the relationship. Be the man who can handle his own and watch your attraction with her grow stronger. She will admire your stoic resilience, your ability to remain strong and composed, and ultimately, she will desire you more for it. In the end, the message is clear. Be a rock, not a crumbling mountain. That's the man who holds the attraction, the respect, and the passion of the woman who stands beside him. So be strong, be wise, and always, always remain in control of your emotions. The woman in your life will thank you for it. And most importantly, she will respect and desire you more. To remind yourself of your strength, comment this affirmation below. I am emotionally resilient, strong, and in control of my own life. Let's keep leveling up, growing, and mastering life together. 7. Don't let her walk all over you. In life, there are things a man must never allow, especially when it comes to his relationships with women. If you let a woman walk all over you, disrespect you, or undermine your values, you've already lost the battle for respect and attraction. This is a fatal mistake. You must never tolerate manipulation, deceit, or taking advantage of your kindness. Such behaviors erode the very foundation of any healthy relationship. In the eyes of a woman, a man who cannot set clear boundaries and assert his principles is weak, an easy target for manipulation and control. Remember, respect is the cornerstone of any lasting relationship, and it's not something you can simply expect. It must be earned. First and foremost, by you holding fast to your own standards and principles. A strong man understands this. He stands his ground, and when necessary, he confronts challenges head-on. He doesn't back down simply for the sake of peace. It is far better to assert yourself with conviction and lose a moment of comfort than to lose the respect of those around you, including a woman you care about. The Stoic principles taught by Marcus Aurelius underscore this. It is not the one who has the greatest strength, but the one who has the greatest willpower, who is truly free. This applies not only in the realm of self-discipline, but in relationships as well. Your willpower, your ability to enforce boundaries and maintain your integrity, is what will ultimately lead you to personal freedom and mutual respect. The modern world has blurred many lines, but the truth remains clear. A man who compromises his values for the comfort of others, especially in relationships, is setting himself up for failure. It's easy to be swayed by the desire to please, but this only leads to manipulation and regret. A woman will respect you when you show her that you won't allow anyone, no matter how charming or persuasive, to take advantage of you. This isn't about being rude or aggressive, it's about knowing your worth and maintaining your dignity. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be disciplined and unmoved by external chaos, to not let others dictate our peace. In modern life, this discipline manifests in the way we conduct ourselves in relationships. Think about it. A man who cannot say no is a man who gives away his power. There is strength in knowing when to refuse, when to walk away, and when to demand respect. Your boundaries are a reflection of your self-worth. If you don't uphold them, you send the message that you don't value yourself. And if you don't value yourself, neither will anyone else. A Stoic man, grounded in the principles of Marcus Aurelius, understands that personal freedom comes from self-mastery. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus says. And in relationships, this is more vital than ever. You must lead by example, not by appeasement. Be the man who is unshakable in his values. Show her that you can't be manipulated, that you know who you are, and you will not compromise that identity for anyone. When you do this, you create an aura of respect that draws others to you, including women. In relationships, you must never forget that respect is not a given. It's earned. A woman will not respect you simply because you are polite or kind. She will respect you when you consistently demonstrate strength, resilience, and unwavering principles. When you remain steadfast in your values and don't compromise them, you will become a man who is not only admired but desired. This is not about arrogance or dominance, but about consistency and integrity. Women are drawn to men who are not afraid to take charge, to be leaders in their own lives, and to stand up for what they believe in. As you navigate through modern life, keep in mind that your respect is not something to be handed out lightly. It's something you demand through your actions, your words, and your behavior. A Stoic man, one who embodies the principles of Marcus Aurelius, knows this well. He has cultivated a life where his respect for himself is unshakable, and therefore he attracts those who will value and respect him in return. You must be the same. You must never tolerate disrespect, whether it comes from a woman, a friend, or a colleague. Stand firm, speak your truth, and do not fear confrontation when it's necessary. These actions will build your character, and as your character strengthens, so too will your relationships. So, let me be clear. Never allow anyone, man or woman, to walk all over you. Stand tall, draw the line, be resolute, live by the Stoic principles that have stood the test of time, and never compromise your values for anyone's comfort. Your worth is not up for negotiation. You will be tested in this, but each test is an opportunity to grow stronger, more confident, and more respected. The world may try to convince you that submission and appeasement are the keys to success, but those who live by such ideals are the ones who lose themselves along the way. If you truly want to master life, you must first master yourself. And that starts with never letting anyone, especially a woman, disrespect you. That is how you build not just respect, but attraction. And that is how you become a man who commands respect in all aspects of life. I hope you found today's video helpful and insightful. Remember, attraction isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things. The key is knowing what not to do. Stop chasing. Stop trying to impress. Stop leaning on her emotionally, and don't make her the center of your world. When you take these steps, everything changes. You'll become the man she can respect, desire, and yes, even chase. In this modern dating world, it's not for the weak. It rewards those who move with intention, who value themselves, and who lead without needing anyone's approval. So, cut out these habits, and not only will you keep her attention, but you'll command it consistently, confidently, and completely. Take care and keep leveling up. 4 things women secretly desire more than money. Psychology men must know. Modern Stoic. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. Many men think they understand what women want: flashy cars, designer watches, and high-status jobs. But what if I told you the key to her heart doesn't lie in material wealth? There are traits that captivate her on a much deeper level. traits that transcend anything money could buy. These traits aren't loud or flashy. They don't scream for attention. Yet, when a man exudes them, a woman feels them in her core, beyond thoughts, beyond words. It's in the way she breathes around him, how her body responds to his energy, how deeply she feels his presence. The men who truly understand this, whether they are playboys, mystics, or modern Stoic kings, know that women seek more than money. What they long for is deeper than wealth. Women crave meaning, power, and genuine presence, and when a man embodies these qualities, he unlocks an undeniable attraction. This isn't about tricks or surface-level advice. If you're tired of pretending and seeking validation through superficial gestures, you're in the right place. We're focusing on the kind of power that doesn't need to show off, the kind of power that feels as solid as gravity itself. By supporting this journey, you're not just helping us grow, you're becoming part of a movement that empowers men to become grounded, desirable, and free from the confusion that holds them back. Let's dive in and explore what truly matters. Number 1. Directional confidence. In a world filled with distractions and uncertainties, there is a rare, magnetic power in a man who knows exactly where he's going. This is the essence of directional confidence. Women, no matter how much they may try to deny it, can feel it in every aspect of his being, his body language, his tone, the way he carries himself in a room. He's not rushing, not aimless, but walks with a quiet intensity, signaling something deeper. Purpose. This is something that many men miss. Most wander through life, reacting to situations, adapting to circumstances, hesitating when decisions are required. But the man who exudes directional confidence is not waiting for life to tell him what's next. He's not looking for external validation. He already knows his direction, his goals are clear, and his values are unwavering. He is a man built on intention, intentions that are grounded in something far beyond the ordinary. And this is where the power lies. Women aren't drawn to loud ambition or the superficial displays of confidence that lack substance. Instead, they are magnetized by the quiet certainty of a man who doesn't need to explain his mission because he embodies it with every step he takes. When she sees that you are not aimlessly drifting, but instead building something meaningful, she starts to perceive you differently. You are no longer just another guy in the room. You are a force, one that she feels. This subtle, yet profound, shift in perception is what makes you stand out. It's not about dominating or controlling her, but about having clarity. Here's why this matters. A woman's attraction is not driven by the superficial, not by looks or material things. It's rooted in her biological wiring to detect leadership energy. But leadership, in this context, is not about manipulation. It's about having a sense of direction, a clear, unwavering purpose that extends beyond her. Women are drawn to men who have a mission, a legacy they are building, something they are deeply passionate about. When she sees that you're focused on a greater purpose, she feels safe to follow. And that doesn't mean ignoring her, dismissing her needs, or being emotionally unavailable. No, it means that you are anchored in your own path, in your own journey, and she becomes part of that, not the end goal. This difference is the key to the magnetic pull that many men fail to understand. It's not about grand gestures or superficial promises, but about a deep-seated certainty that you are headed somewhere, and she can sense it. She feels your direction, your clarity, your leadership, and that's what makes you irresistible. In a world where most men are trying to get by, simply reacting to life's challenges, it's the man with directional confidence who wins her desire. You must be the man who knows where he's going and walks that path with purpose and conviction. The secret lies not in loud declarations, but in embodying your mission. When you do this, you make an undeniable impression. Women are not seeking a man to simply validate their existence. They seek a partner who will join them on a journey, a partner who leads with purpose and clarity. So, if you want to draw her in, focus on building your own mission. You must cultivate your own path. Don't wait for life to dictate your direction. Be the man who lives by intention, and the rest will follow. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced this kind of magnetic pull from a man with direction? What are your thoughts on how purpose impacts attraction? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Number 2, social fluidity. In the complex dance of attraction, social fluidity plays a pivotal role, especially when it comes to understanding what women truly desire. It's not just about being liked, it's about being admired, respected, and seen as someone who is trusted by others. A man who walks into a room and commands the respect of those around him without even uttering a word is sending a powerful message. Women are biologically wired to assess social cues quickly. This has been ingrained over thousands of years of evolution. When a woman observes that a man is accepted, respected, and followed by others, her subconscious automatically begins to view him in the same light. This instant social proof speaks volumes, far more than any carefully crafted words ever could. You don't need to be the loudest or most attention-grabbing person in the room. You just need to be the center of gravity, the kind of person others naturally gravitate towards. A man who walks into a room and is met with friendly eyes, warm greetings, and subtle nods isn't just well-liked. His social presence has already done the hard work. But why is this so crucial? Because when a woman observes a man in a social setting, she learns more about him in the first few minutes of watching how he interacts with others than in an hour of direct conversation. Does he walk into a room with ease, or does he seem out of place? Is he comfortable in his skin, relaxed in the presence of others, or does he seem unsure and anxious? These initial cues tell a story far more powerful than any set of words could. When a man is respected and trusted by those around him, that respect and trust are reflected back to him by others, and a woman watching him will feel that too. It's not about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. It's about exuding an energy that makes others feel comfortable and secure. This social fluidity isn't about networking or trying to impress. It's about emotional fluidity in its purest form, understanding how to hold space, how to be present without needing to dominate. In modern life, this means that when you enter a room, take a moment to scan it slowly. Don't rush in. Don't look desperate for attention. Acknowledge others early with a warm nod, a brief glance, or a friendly greeting. Be present. If someone is speaking, listen to them first before offering your response. Redirect attention back to the group, not to yourself. Master the small rituals, maintaining eye contact, allowing your presence to fill the space without forcing it, and timing your replies without rushing. This is how you build social fluidity. It's about being attuned to the emotional energy around you and knowing how to calibrate your response. Don't match the loudest energy in the room, match the strongest one. This isn't about competing for attention. It's about knowing how to remain grounded in your presence while also navigating the emotional landscape of others. Now, here's something crucial the next time you're in a group setting with a woman nearby. Resist the urge to chase her attention. Instead, engage with the group. Let her observe your value through the way others interact with you. Don't make her the focal point. Make your presence and the way you interact with others the focal point. Women are keen observers, and when they see you being socially fluid, graceful under pressure, kind to strangers, and grounded in your presence, they experience something primal. They recognize your value not just through your actions, but through how others respond to you. They'll think, if others admire him, maybe I could too. It's not about logic, it's about primal recognition. And this kind of recognition unlocks desire faster and more powerfully than any compliment, gift, or clever line ever could. So, the next time you're out in a social setting, remember that your greatest asset is not how you present yourself alone, but how you are perceived by the group. Engage with presence, hold space without forcing your way in, and let the respect others show you speak louder than any words you can say. That's the key to unlocking deeper, more genuine connections. And it's a skill that every modern man must master if he wants to truly understand what women desire. Number 3, grounded humor. Every man desires to make a woman laugh, yet the overwhelming majority fail, not because they lack humor, but because their humor stems from desperation. The moment she senses you're seeking her approval or trying too hard to entertain, the attraction begins to fade. Sure, you may get a smile, perhaps even a chuckle, but that's not enough to pull her in. Why? Because your humor lacks the one thing that truly drives desire: grounding. Grounded humor is the real game changer. It doesn't chase laughter. It doesn't try to impress. It isn't a performance. It's the expression of a man who is already whole, who understands that true intimacy isn't won through jokes, but created through emotional depth, lightness, timing, and energy. When you make her laugh from this rooted place, it affects her on a deep subconscious level. It signals to her that you are a man at ease with himself. You are not anxious, not seeking validation. You occupy your space with power and ease. You're playful, but you are also commanding. This combination, pure magnetism, it's what draws her in. And make no mistake, this type of attraction isn't built on trying to be funny. It's built on being grounded in who you are. To cultivate grounded humor, start by practicing silence after you make her laugh. Don't rush to fill the gap. Let it linger. Let her feel your steadiness in that silence. This act alone reinforces your sense of security, and she'll take notice. Keep your teasing soft, calibrated. Gentle irony is the key. Flirt through insight, not insults. You don't need crude or over-the-top humor to captivate her. Precision and playfulness go hand in hand. A well-placed expression, like a slow smile, a raised eyebrow, or unwavering eye contact, holds far more allure than any punchline ever could. And if she doesn't laugh, don't try to correct her or force the moment. Stay neutral. She may not remember the joke, but she will remember the feeling you left her with. To be truly magnetic, you must be unapologetically yourself. Understand this. The goal isn't to make her laugh. The goal is to make her feel safe, secure, and drawn to the man who knows his worth. As Steve Jobs once said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Be that man, grounded, powerful, and unwavering in your presence. Stay true to yourself. Let her laugh when she feels it, but never for the sake of impressing her. Let your grounded humor speak volumes. Now, here's your challenge. Practice this approach. Next time you're with her, let your humor come from a place of complete self-assurance. And, if you haven't already, comment, and share this with those who need to hear this message. What will you do differently next time to embody this grounded power? Drop a comment below and claim your mastery. Number 4, consistency as seduction. Consistency is the quiet force behind true seduction, a steady rhythm that women instinctively desire and rely on. Many men misunderstand the true nature of attraction, mistakenly believing it hinges on sparks of passion or grand, sweeping gestures. The idea that excitement and fireworks are the key to building deeper attraction is a falsehood. You don't need expensive gifts, poetic words, or dramatic actions to capture her heart. The real key lies in something far more rare and lasting: consistency. You must show up and remain constant in your actions, words, and energy over time. But don't mistake consistency for being robotic or unfeeling. Consistency doesn't mean you shut off your emotions or become emotionless. It's about emotional reliability. It means that no matter what mood she's in, whether she's elated or enraged, your presence remains steady. It's about the way you respond to her, not fluctuating or reacting based on her energy, but providing a calm, unwavering presence that she can always count on. This kind of reliability doesn't just create stability, it builds trust and safety. Women, like all human beings, need stability in their relationships. When they feel that, they can let go of their fears, anxieties, and uncertainties. When you are consistently there for her, whether in moments of joy or in moments of tension, you create a safe space where she feels protected, understood, and supported. Over time, this steady presence allows her to relax her defenses and begin to trust you in a way that is impossible without this emotional reliability. This is when desire begins to grow, slowly but surely. It's cultivated through your ability to be emotionally grounded. As Carl Jung wisely said, The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. You must give her the room to feel emotionally safe, to trust that you won't react impulsively to her mood swings, and that no matter what, you will be there. It's a rare thing for a woman to feel this deeply rooted security in someone, and it's that security that lets her heart open fully to you. When you are consistent, you begin to build something much more valuable than short-lived passion. You are building a foundation that will stand the test of time. You are becoming the one person she knows she can depend on. This is a feeling that goes beyond mere attraction. It's a powerful connection based on reliability, trust, and emotional safety. Desire, as much as it is often romanticized as an exciting, fast-burning flame, is actually a slow-burning fire that requires a solid base to thrive. Without consistency, the flame flickers and dies out, but with it, it becomes an enduring force that only grows stronger as time passes. This consistency, therefore, is not something small or insignificant. It is, in fact, the very cornerstone of deep, lasting attraction. Don't chase the fleeting thrills of excitement and grand gestures. Those may win you attention, but not trust. The most magnetic and powerful force in any relationship is emotional consistency. When you are steady, dependable, and grounded, that is what creates a deep, lasting desire, a desire that lasts far longer than any grand romantic gesture ever could. This is the path that leads to something greater than just attraction. It leads to a lasting, transformative connection. It's time to ask yourself, are you ready to be that rock-solid presence for the woman in your life? Are you prepared to show up consistently, unwaveringly, and emotionally reliably? If so, you will discover a depth of connection and attraction that most men never experience. Don't underestimate the power of your consistent presence. It is far more valuable than any material gift or fleeting excitement. If you want to go beyond surface-level attraction and create something that stands the test of time, then consistency is your most powerful tool. Think about it. How much more deeply would your connection with her grow if she could count on you, day in and day out, to be the steady force in her life? Share your thoughts below. Have you experienced the power of consistency in your relationships? Or are you still chasing the excitement of the moment? You've just unlocked the 6 most powerful forces behind deep female attraction. These traits don't require money, fame, or flashy gestures. They come from within, from a man who doesn't need external validation because he already owns internal mastery. This is the essence of every grounded Stoic and high-value man, not through noise, but through presence, not through control, but through certainty, not through wealth, but through weight. Men who embody this don't chase attraction. They become the gravitational force that women can't resist. Attraction isn't something they pursue. It's something they radiate naturally. True power comes from mastering yourself, not impressing others. When you stop seeking external validation and focus on building inner strength, you'll naturally become magnetic. Women are drawn to the quiet confidence, the man who has nothing to prove but everything to offer. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you lead with certainty and presence, you stop chasing and start attracting. If you've made it this far, I know you're ready to become unstoppable. Drop unstoppable in the comments to claim that identity. Subscribe for more insights that will shape your life, not distract it. Like this video so more men can step into their power. Share it with the man who needs to stop seeking approval and start commanding respect. This isn't just a video, it's a guide to masculine mastery. Thank you for watching. Walk forward with your new identity quiet, grounded and desired. You are the man she feels before she understands.